Alright, yo, what is up, guys? BAESIC here, back with another video. Today's video is going to kind of revolve around the question of is a stock 2015 plus WRX fun to drive? Completely stock, nothing added into the car. This car is on stock suspension, G35, stock exhaust, and stock everything else, stock intake, everything. If you watch my channel, you know that I had my car on Stage 1 Plus. I had wheels on it, I had coilovers on it. I took all that off. It's completely stock right now. I'm gonna give you like a full-on honest review on how it is stock. I'm gonna try not to be too biased because I've already modded the car and I know what it's like. But this is completely stock. I've been driving this stock for like the last 2K miles, 3K miles, something like that. And I drove it stock for 20K miles prior to that. Okay, so mine is a 2018 model. It's a 2018 Subaru WRX. This car, stock, comes with 268 horsepower and like I believe it's 258 foot-pounds of torque. Doesn't sound like too much, but if you put your foot down, this car will leave, like, you know. But that's really not where this car shines. This car really shines in the back roads. Let me slow down a little bit. This car really shines in the back roads. Like, this is kind of what this car is meant for. If you wanted a fun straight car, straight line car, I feel like this wasn't really the car you should have picked. But with the all-wheel drive system, obviously with aftermarket parts, you can make this car extremely fast on the straight line. But I'm talking just completely stock. Going to the back roads is probably gonna be like your fun place. You know, the all-wheel drive system that this car has is absolutely amazing, and this thing does not lose grip. Obviously with some aftermarket wheels, maybe some wider wheels and some good tires, you're literally just enhancing how much grip you're not going to lose, which is amazing. I honestly like how this car performs, especially on back roads. Like I said, this is coming from someone that used to own I used to own a 2015 FRS, and that was a really fun car, and I thought that was like the king of back roads. But that car was rear-wheel drive and it had a lot less power. It had like 200 horsepower on paper, which I didn't believe for one bit. That car was just dumb slow. I swear, I couldn't remember a time that a Prius was like keeping up with me. But anyway, let's just do a quick pull here. Yeah, this car hauls ass, to be honest. So yeah, this car. So this car on turns, anything like that, does absolutely amazing. It performs really, really well. I'll try to go through some curvy roads right now. I believe there's some curvy roads up ahead. Yeah, so anyone that looking to get in the market of this car, this is what you should expect. Right out the get-go, there's a couple of things that I complain about, and they're not really big complaints, especially for the average driver. The average driver is not going to push their car too much. Maybe just on the weekend, every other weekend, you know, you go out to the canyon with a couple of friends or something like that. But even that, not much to complain about. Number one thing that people complain about probably is the big rev hang that you have from first to second. So rev hang is basically when you're switching gears, your revs stay up. And I shit you not, this is what I did the first time that I was in the car and I did an actual pull. From first to second, it really just feels like you're going like this. Like, yeah, it feels ridiculous. The second thing would probably be after your boost peak, which is like 34K RPM, you kind of just lose all power, and then it's kind of like a blank spot. Which you still go, but it kind of sucks having like that one, and then you just like, you know, kind of land forward. But other than that, like if you're going in the back roads, I can manage to stay between 3 to 4K RPM the majority of the time, or even a little higher. You know, you do get a little bit more power, like up passing like 5K RPM, which it redlines like at almost, what is that, 6,600 RPM. Yeah, 6,600 RPM it redlines. So if you can keep it after 5K RPM, but obviously that's pushing the car a lot. I try to stay lower, not too low, because obviously you need the power, especially when you're going in canyons, and you're always downshifting. But overall, it's a really fun car. This car is definitely a car that I recommend to anyone. The journey that I've had with this car, unfortunately, has been a little wobbly, but I still love the car. I still recommend it to anybody, especially if you start going aftermarket parts. But if you don't, which I know a lot of people don't, you won't be disappointed. Like the car is still a really fun car. I feel like one of the two main questions that I always get is the car fun stock, and is it worth modding? Yes and yes. The car is extremely fun stock. Just doing nothing to the car and not expecting to win, like, you know, races in a straight line or something like that. If you're not that type of person, if you're just like, let me enjoy my car, yeah, this car is gonna be perfect for you. If you do want to go a little bit quicker in a straight line, or perhaps you want to, I don't know, go a little bit quicker in the canyons, aftermarket parts really do enhance this car like drastically. A simple J-pipe intake and a tune can literally bring you up to basically 300 horsepower, which is a significant jump from what this car does out of the factory. It says 268 out of the crank, but I'm sure it pushes a little bit less than that. Manufacturers always want to like bullshit their numbers, but this car will stay on the ground. You could just put your pedal down and this car will stay down. Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, coming from an FRS, that car was amazing. Like, I could push that car and it would stay on the ground, but the rear would slip out a little bit. And that was always a little bit scary to me, just because I was like, fuck, dude, what if I'm on a canyon and I'm like, you know, you're near a cliff, like, you definitely don't want your rear sliding out. But that car didn't have that much power, so it was so easy to gain control of that car. But yeah, that car was just so easy to gain control of. But this car will stick on the ground. I'll just tell you from experience that the second you put wider tires and some stickier tires and wider wheels, you'll definitely feel a difference. When I had first put on my wheels, I was like, holy crap. Like, initially it felt like I was stuck on the ground, and I just felt like a block. Like, I was not leaving the ground whatsoever. Yeah, and it's so easy to maneuver. This car is really fun just on stock form. I really don't have too many complaints of the car. It's all really like nitty-pitty complaints. They're not like really big complaints. This car is still, like I said, I love the appearance of the car, and the performance is definitely there. And then the best part is, if you ever want a little bit more performance, you can definitely get that with aftermarket parts. I have so many Subarus that I follow that are like just full on like race car status, and I always wanted to do that with this car, but unfortunately I just haven't fucking gotten lucky with this car. But yeah, and I guess one last thing is get a manual transmission. It's a Subi. You can't, like, I have nothing against automatics. Obviously, you buy an AMG, you're gonna get automatic. You buy a Ferrari, Lamborghini, all those high-end cars, you're gonna get an automatic regardless with paddle shifters. I've driven automatic cars, and like, they're still fun, but like, the experience you get from driving a manual transmission is like none other. Like, you are never gonna compare that to an automatic car. That's why, like, even like, you know, high-end collectors of like high-end Lamborghinis get manual transmission Lamborghinis, because it's just like the experience you get from shifting gears is just ridiculous. I don't know if you guys can hear that little switch. That's completely stock. Like, I think I have a new filter in there because my old one was really dirty, but yeah, like that sounds really nice. I have a K&N filter in there actually, which increased the throttle response just a little bit, which was amazing, especially for a completely stock car. I don't have anything on the car. I will come out on an update video on what's been going on with my car and everything like that. If you do follow my channel, just expect that soon. And yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this small little, you know, kind of review. Do I recommend this car? I really do. But yeah, guys, I really do hope you guys did enjoy this video. Answer of the question of the day is, do I really recommend this car? I really do. It's an overall great performing car. The control this car has is absolutely amazing. If you guys want to know the, I guess, differences between a WRX and an STI from an STI owner, go ahead and click the link in the description below. I do have a separate video. I'm going to put that in the description. It's going to be the first link down there, so go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. And yeah, hope you guys did enjoy your day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and peace out.